Alright gang, welcome back to our Survive 25 challenge on Zielonka. Now you may be noticing a lot of things, one of which is something I said we were not going to be doing a whole lot more of, but we went ahead and did it anyway. We have jumped to August, we are harvesting, we also have a lot more money than we left off with. I've had a bit of a rethink, a retool of the farm itself. It's still basically the same thing, there's really nothing major that's changed, but some of the things we talked about in the last episode I went ahead and did. So I sold the drill for now, temporarily. We will buy it back, but temporarily I sold the drill. And I rethought or rethinked the area with all of our greenhouses. So I sold all the greenhouses and put down some new ones. Technically, we have 3 now. Which before we actually left off we had 3, but I've modified them a little bit. We've got 3 big ones. And I will show that to you here in just a second. But before that happens, I want to kind of show you something else that's going to occur. So when 7 o'clock hits, you're going to see how much money we are now making every hour by having our greenhouses on auto selling. I did, to help accomplish the things that I did off camera between the last episode and this one, I did move the difficulty down to normal. I don't even know if it's going to be an if it gets to a point where it's becoming too easy for us to make money and we're just kind of churning through this too quickly, I will bump it back up to hard. But after, doing the edit, rethinking everything, talking through it with you all, I realized that we needed to make a change. So that's what we did. I did a absolute astronomical amount of contracts off camera to get us to this point. Typically I would like to do those with you, but I mentioned in the last episode as well that, and a lot of episodes really, that I don't want to just constantly be doing contracts with you. I'm going to do a lot of those off camera to help us progress, especially here early on, and that's really what we did. So there you go, we jumped to 14,403, so we're making a decent amount of money every hour now, and you can kind of see what I've done in the distance here. It's not anywhere near done yet, but we do have 3 greenhouses now. 2 of those are mushroom greenhouses. They tend to be they tend to be producing a little bit faster than the other greenhouses. So we're going to have those running with both mushrooms going and automatically on selling, and then we have 1 of our standard greenhouses. But you can also see it's been kind of reworked the way that it's been set up. Things have been re-put down, etc. Realistically, I probably should have got rid of the bees as well, because I put those in the wrong spot, but we haven't done that yet. We might do it today. So yeah, I kind of went a little bit against the grain, and I said I wasn't going to skip again in this series. This will be, I promise, the last time we do a bunch of skipping. I'm not going to say we're not going to skip a month from time to time. We certainly probably will, but it won't be we're just skip until this field is ready to harvest situation. Not again. So I just wasn't happy with the way that the series was going, and how long it was taking to accomplish things, and I didn't want to just continue to just do nothing but contracts, like I said, with all of you, and really to even continue to progress the series. I was kind of having to do a lot of contracts off camera too, because we weren't making any money at all. So we made a bit of a change here, a bit of a rethink, a bit of a retool, if you will, and I will show you our greenhouses here in just a second. But I just wanted to talk through it with you and be honest with you and straight up with you. I'm on console, so I really don't have the ability to put in any crazy cheats that get us to where we got to. It was literally all just hard work and selling everything and then rethinking how we were going to put them down on the ground. And then obviously selling the drill helped a lot. That drill was worth like nearly 50 grand. So we almost got 2 greenhouses from just reselling all the ones we currently had and reselling the drill. We almost got 2 of the mushroom greenhouses out of that, and they're the big mushroom greenhouses too. The other one, the regular greenhouse, that one was literally just all specifically hard work doing contracts. I mean, and then just having everything on auto selling, right, and going through each of the days. So I did a lot of work off camera between the last episode and this one. And even though it's a day apart for you, it's not really a day apart for me doing them. It's been a couple of days. So I've kind of been doing those contracts at night while I'm kind of gearing down to go to bed, right? Just knock out, 3, 4, 5 contracts quickly. Any of the ones that I can do with fertilizer, I was doing that. Any of the ones, that I did, I only did 1 harvesting contract, but it was a big one. So just kind of give you a ballpark and let you know what's been occurring, where we are, and why we have some money all of a sudden. I think it's for the best. Hopefully you all agree with that statement, or that sentiment. So let me pull this over here. I'm just going to briefly stop here for a second. I want to go over and show you the greenhouse setup here. It's very similar to how it was before. I just think it's just set up a little bit better. So this thing's full of water. Good. So I didn't move the our little tiny rice field here for the water. I didn't move that at all. I just kind of reworked how the greenhouses are. So here they are. And they're kind of set up in a perfect line here. So I can just kind of run up here with the water and then just unload and then continue on as I carry forward, right? Just keep on unloading. So it's pretty useful. It's pretty efficient in comparison to where we were at before. It was starting to turn into a little bit of a mess. I believe we have enough room that we could put one more mushroom greenhouse over here when we get enough money. Obviously, that will not be this episode. We are making decent money every hour, but not enough to get there unless we sped up time, which we're not going to do. So yeah, there you go. That's basically what I've been working on since the last episode, and it seems like a lot of work. It is a lot of work, but again, it was all mostly contract based, and then just selling everything that we had, including the drill, and reworking everything. Now, we still kept the harvester because I knew we had to harvest that field. We still have the trailer. We needed that. We kept the fertilizer spreader because a lot of the contracts, not all of them, certainly not all of them, but a lot of the contracts that I was doing were all related to fertilizing because I enjoy doing fertilizing. And since our fertilizer spreader is such a wide width, it really didn't take us too long to do them. So it actually was very beneficial for us being able to gain money. We basically just, did whatever we could given the circumstances. With every month that we went from the last episode where we left off in the last episode all the way to now, we literally just every month I went through, and if there was a contract for fertilizing, boom, grabbed it. Boom, grabbed it. I'd finish one, there'd be more that would pop up, I'd grab them. We did one harvesting contract. It was for a pretty big one. It was like 12 grand, something like that. It was a decent size, which helped out tremendously with getting that third one. That's really how we got the third one, honestly. So it's a big change, but it's a change that was absolutely needed, I think. In hindsight, if I were to go back to episode 1, I'd still do a greenhouse for one of the farms, but I probably wouldn't have started with a greenhouse. I probably would have started with something else, just to make it easier on ourselves. I was really trying to kill us with the greenhouses right off the bat, because you really don't make a whole lot of money, and the only way you're going to do it is if you skip months, right? So, just kind of didn't really go about it the proper way off the beginning. I thought I was going to be going on, the proper way, but once we got into it, on paper it seemed like it was going to be, but once we got into it, clearly that was not the case. So, but in any case, we're moving along here. We got canola. Now, it's not best to sell canola right now at all, not even close. What we might end up doing, it really depends. It really truly does. What we might end up doing is just keeping this in the trailer. That, or we buy a silo. Now, I'm pretty sure the silos are expensive. There hasn't been one that's popped out on Mod Hub for me yet to buy that's a little bit cheaper. Some other things have come up finally, but nothing regarding silos, at least not yet, that I've saw. At least at the time of this recording. So we'll have to kind of make a decision there on what we're going to do with the canola. I'm leaning towards keeping it into the trailer until it's best to sell it, just so we can try to get the most money we can out of it. But if the price isn't atrocious, which I expect it to be in August, but if it's not atrocious, we might just go ahead and sell it for the money. If we could get another big greenhouse today, that would be fantastic. I don't know if we can. We're probably going to do a couple contracts, which we more than likely will do. We also would need to technically buy another drill if we want to re-drill this field. I'm not saying we have to, but if we want to re-drill it today, we need to buy another drill because I sold the other one. Just so I could try to get us in a better position with the greenhouses. So there's a lot of choices and options for us to pick from here as we carry on in this episode. It's just going to be a matter of what's the best thing to do here. So we can look at canola. There it is, canola. Yeah, I mean it's going up, but it's not amazing, but it's not terrible either. I mean it's only about a $400-ish fluctuation, give or take. That's not really a terrible price. It's kind of in the middle-ish, close to 1,000. But think about it. But how's everybody doing today? Hopefully you're all doing well. Things aren't bad for the most part here. It's nearly Thanksgiving, so happy Thanksgiving to all of you. If I don't talk to you before then. So one thing I want to look at really quick while we're here, is there any? There's a fertilization contract here. It's $4,343. It's pretty decent. I'm going to accept this. We're going to do it today. There's a bunch of harvesting ones. A bunch. We won't do those, but let's do that fertilizing one for today. I don't want to do too much more harvesting with this. I mean, the service is fine, but I would rather have the damage come to the tractor and the fertilizer spreader than the harvester. So I want to be very specific when I do the harvesting contracts. And this harvester is not very big, so it does take a long time to do. Whereas our fertilizing, it takes us a few seconds. Even on big fields, it really doesn't take us long at all. So that's the most ideal, best bang for our buck situation, right? This field is nearly done, which is really good. We might end up doing, if we get another drill, we might try to get a cheaper drill. That's probably the way I should have went to begin with. It's certainly not going to be as big of a width, so it's going to take longer, but... we actually might not be able to fit all of this in the trailer. We've got a pretty good yield going here. It's not too bad. I did do the fertilizing of this field off camera, obviously, because we jumped a number of months once again. What do you think of our new little greenhouse complex we're going to build? It's going to be much better overall for us once we get, you know, all of them put down there, and we're probably gonna carry them on a little bit, right? It's gonna be a much better situation for us, for sure. So let's go and load this into the trailer here. I'm actually going to speed up time just a little bit. We're not going to go unrealistic or anything like that, but there you go. I can show you there. I changed the economic difficulty to normal. It doesn't really help us, you know, with buying equipment and things like that, but it certainly does help us when we're selling stuff, right? The prices are a little bit better. So it's helped a lot by switching that to normal with the greenhouses, right? All right, so while that's doing that, we need to hook up to the... I dropped the seed out, by the way, as well. I didn't want to waste that. I have a habit of wasting stuff we don't need. So I made sure I did that before I sold it. We need to go get some fertilizer. We are out of fertilizer completely, so let's buy that first off. Is there anything in the used market? There's a trailer, but not really something we need right now. Let's buy 2 boxes of it. It's going to be $38.40, so that's not cheap. Brings us down to 10,000. I was hoping in the used market there might be some kind of a drill for us or something, but that's clearly not the case, so that's unfortunate. Whoa! Oh boy. Whew. Well, I ran into the honey again. Obviously, we're not making a ton of money, and I can't pick it up. So now we're going to have 2 pallets with just one little box of honey on it. Oh boy. Anyway, we'll gloss over that. Let's head to... where is this thing? All the way down to 94. Where is 94 at? Way down there. Okay, let's go pick up the fertilizer. I will get it loaded up. We'll go down there and we'll fertilize that field real quick and make ourselves $4,000. Well, how about 2,000 after we pay for the fertilizer? All right, that is all done, so we can turn that in. Still have 1,318 liters left, so we didn't really need to buy 2 boxes, but we're going to utilize it, right? We're going to utilize it for contracts and things anyway, so I think it was probably okay to go ahead and purchase it. So let's drop this off here right now. I'm just going to turn that off for a brief second. I want to look at this one more time here. The canola is going up, but it's only going up in a couple of locations. The grain mill, which is the closest one to us. So it may only be a couple of bucks, but I kind of feel like maybe waiting on that. But if we wait, what are we going to do, right? We don't have a whole lot else to do. It's either do more contracts or do more contracts. Because that's really all we can do right now. Even with these modifications we made, which are going to help tremendously, making, you know, around 400 bucks an hour is huge. It's going to be so good for us. But I don't think saving a couple of bucks is really going to be that beneficial right now. So I think we're just going to go ahead and sell it. It does mean, like I said, we have to buy another drill. Because I sold it originally, and that's one of the reasons why we were able to, you know, afford to do some of the things that I did do. So we're going to have to buy another one. It's just going to be a matter of what one can we purchase? What can we afford? And honestly, none is the answer. This is the cheapest one. I might go out in Mod Hub and make sure there's nothing. I didn't really look at drills, to be honest with you. I should probably look at that. 39. Yeah, planters, same thing. Nothing, you know, any cheaper there. So, you might not be able to do a whole lot else today besides some more contracts, which it's fine. We can do another contract. I'm not concerned about that now. We at least have, you know, a path forward here. I feel like we're in a much better spot than we were before. Granted, we had to skip, you know, a number of months to get there, but I do feel we're in a better spot. So I'm not fully against that. But if we can figure out a way to afford a drill today, that'd be great. So let's sell this first, and let's actually see what kind of money we're working with here. And I mean, we could wait till, you know, afternoon and do it then. I don't think that's really too big of a deal to wait a couple more hours and see if we, you know, I mean, we're not going to make a ton of money, but if we wait till noon or 1 o'clock, I mean, we get a couple extra $1,000 probably. Well, almost $2,000 more. So if we need that, right, we can do it. It's still the same day. Still the same episode, so. All right, here we go. It's a decent amount, but we're not gonna. It's not gonna change a whole lot. We're not gonna get to 30,000. I can already tell you that just looking at it. Might get to close to 20, but that's it. 18. So we got $7,000 out of that harvest. It's such a small field that I really don't think it's that bad. But it doesn't get us to where we need to be, right? We're not anywhere near where we need to be at. Even if we were to wait till, you know, 2 or 3, we're still only looking at, you know, low 20,000, you know, somewhere like in the 21, 22 range at most probably. And that's before it starts to get dark, right? So there's not really a whole lot of playroom or wiggle room here, but let me see if I can find anything on Mod Hub. Let me see. I don't think there is anything, but it's worth a check. Okay, so I went out there, and yeah, there is one other thing that I didn't show you on the menu there that we had installed. I just kind of, I thought they were going to be at the top, but they were not. They were at the bottom because it was a mod, but it's still not anything we can purchase. If we go down here, 33,500 is the cheapest one we can get. It's not going to cut it. It's not going to cut it. So we're going to have to do contracts. It's as simple as that. And hope for something to pop up in the used market. I was looking at this hoeing here for Field 54. It is a gigantic field. I was trying to figure out what kind of hoe that was to see what the width was, because if it's tiny, which I'm assuming it is, it's this one, 12.4 meters. That's actually not that bad. That's not bad. Okay, that's not as bad as I thought it was going to be. 12.4 meters isn't bad. At 15 mile per hour, that's not terrible. Maybe we do that. mean, that's a decent amount of money. We could pick up this one too, which is right next to it. It would take us an eternity to do these. But that's not terrible. It's really not. Let's do it. It might take us, it might be an eternity to do it, but let's do it. Okay, I accepted both of those. It's a nice tractor. I like this one. Is this electric? No. It sounded like it for a minute. I was gonna say, if it's electric, I don't really want it anymore. I'm not an electric guy. I don't really like electric stuff. I like the sound. Not as good for the environment, I get it, but well, electric stuff's not really good for the environment either. If you think about how they're made, it's actually worse for the environment, but nobody really brings that up. Nobody really thinks about that. So this field, evidently here, needs hoeing? Okay. Alright, I guess if you think it needs hoeing, we'll hoe it. Probably need to make sure I'm wording that correctly. YouTube might take that down. Yeah, that's not a bad width. I mean, it's going to take me a while, but this isn't terrible. And if I can truly go 15 miles an hour... Oh, wrong one. I mean, I'm going 15, so this is going to take a while. I mean, I don't know how I'm going to be able to know where I've been versus where I haven't been. It's not like it's, you know, really telling me where I've been. So this is going to be near impossible. It's just going to be kind of meandering my way around this field, hoping for the best, I guess, until that top right corner tells me otherwise. But if we're able to do both of these contracts, I mean, it's going to give us a decent amount of money. We're at 22. It should get us to the point where we can buy a drill. With how big these fields are, it's going to take a while. I probably won't have the time today to re-drill the field that we harvested, our field. But we at least will have something to do for, you know, the following episode, right? Now that drill we're going to buy, it does not have a fertilizer on it, so we're going to have to utilize our fertilizer, which is fine. Not a big deal. Well, we're 10% complete. I guess we'll carry on here, gang. I don't love always doing multiple time lapses in the same episode, but kind of I need to take a drink. I'm running out of things to talk about too. So let's just get going on this and see what happens. Hopefully, I'm able to utilize this equipment elsewhere. I feel like I've done that before, but that little screen that just popped up makes me a little nervous. Anyway, let's get going. We'll get this field done at least. This is the big one we want to get accomplished anyway, so if it doesn't work for the other one, it doesn't work. All right, gang, we're nearly done, and I do believe there's a tornado incoming. If you look at the little cloudy area there, that certainly looks like a tornado to me. We might actually run into our very first tornado here. Considering we had a little bit of a rethink, and you know, I was hoping it wasn't going to be in this episode. I was hoping to be another one that I could, you know, utilize that as a thumbnail of some sort, but it appears we're going to get the tornado here in August, whether we want it or not. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. I still have purposely not watched anybody's video who has already encountered the tornado, because I wanted to experience it myself. Now, I don't know when it's going to get here. I probably need to look at the weather, right, to kind of figure that out. And we might have to do a little tornado hunting here, huh? So this field's almost done. The other field I had a little bit of issues with. Obviously, I had to do some, you know, repasses. It was kind of impossible to see where I had been and what I've, you know, missed. This is much easier when you already have a growing stage. It's very easy to see, and I actually am enjoying doing this. So maybe putting hoeing on our list of things to do as far as contracts go a little more often, especially if we're able to get this specific implement. Nice width. It doesn't take long to do it, and we can go 15 mile per hour. That's all things that I enjoy and love, the fact that it doesn't take us that long. All right, we are done with our contracts here, gang, so we can go ahead and, well, let's do a quick save first. We can turn these in. Should get us to the point where we can buy a drill. All right, 35. That does give us enough to buy a drill. Let's look at the weather here. Tornado is not going to be here until 1700. That's a long ways away. Well, in the interim, there is nothing came up in the used market, unfortunately. I missed it somewhere. Here it is. In the interim, we can buy this one now. Leaves us just, you know, under $3,000, which, that's fine. The greenhouses will make us enough in the interim. 3 meter working width, not a very big working width, but we really don't need it for the size of field we have. It's fine if it takes a little bit longer. The other one we had, I think, only had a 4 meter width, so it's not like it's a significant change. So I'll go up down to the farm shop, and I'll pick that up. I'll bring it back here. And then when I get back with you, we're probably going to skip time until the tornado is supposed to be here, around here. And then we'll do a little tornado hunting, huh? So the initial title for this was going to be probably "and Rethink" or something along those lines. Now I'm going to have that and maybe rework it and include tornado. If we can find the tornado. Who knows? We might not even be able to find the tornado. It might be on other portion of the map. I don't know. This is going to be a first for me, seeing this tornado, so I'm excited. Alright, so I sped up time here a little bit, gang. Tornado is on the thing. That tells you if it's, you know, tornado, sunny, cloudy, whatever it is, right? The little weather thing on the little small weather icon. Don't see any tornadoes yet. So just for the sake of this, we're just going to speed up time here. I just want to see, not too fast, but I just want to see this tornado if it shows up. Still don't see any tornadoes. Do you see any tornado? I'm not seeing any tornado. Maybe it's just there's a potential for a tornado. it is. We found it. There it is. We gotta go to it. We gotta drive over there. If we die, we die. This is not. I'm probably not gonna really save this. I just want to see it. Like, what I mean by save it is, I mean I'm probably just gonna. If it kills us or destroys our equipment or whatever, like we'll probably just reload or something. I just want to see it in action here. This is the first time I've ever encountered it on any series so far. Come on, tractor, hurry up. Look at that. That's pretty cool. I mean, it's not as crazy as I thought it was going to be, but it's still kind of cool. Okay, let's do this. Let's do a quick save here. I'm going to drive into it. We're going to try it. I'm going to drive into it. I want to see what happens. If it even lets us. So I saved it there, so now we can reload it, and it's legitimately still the same tornado. Nothing's changed. Whoa! Alright, nothing happens. You drive right through it. Nothing happens. Does it damage our tractor when we drive into it? No. Okay, so it's literally just damage to crops and things. It's not really going to damage any of your equipment or anything like that. I see. Interesting. Well, I kind of want to get a good angle here for a thumbnail, right? I mean, kind of difficult to do. That's a little bit better. We can try that. We can try that angle. That's pretty funny. That's pretty funny. But it looks like it just stays in one spot. It doesn't move. I mean, I guess it's moving a little bit. It was here. So I guess it's moving a little bit, but it's not really moving at like a fast pace or anything. It is heavily destroying this guy's crops, though. I mean, heavily destroying them. Well, that was pretty cool, gang. That was a cool way to end this episode. So we're going to leave it there. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, I appreciate if you hit the like button. There are more videos in the corners for you to check out if you are interested. Hopefully you enjoyed and accept and are on board with our rework of our greenhouses and our whole land in general. I think it is for the best, and I think it's going to help us out tremendously. Oh, quickly, I think I mentioned this recently, but I don't know if it was this series or not. If I don't know if it's, well, I guess it'd be yesterday's episode, right? If I have it coming out properly now. But anyway, I do have a schedule going to be coming out. It's going to be back to normal, like a normal schedule. So look for that. Starting with today's episode, we should be back on a normal schedule once again here. So obviously if there's an issue and I can't get a video out, then we'll have we'll say something and we'll replace it with something else or whatever. But we'll put a schedule out so we can get on a bit of a groove here without just it being randomized what's going to be coming every day. It's pretty cool. It moves. It just doesn't move very fast. And it's basically just destroying one person's crops right now. It's just destroying this one field. Now, I'm assuming it's going to keep going this way, right? Because we're only on 5 times speed. If I speed up time, let's just try this, just to, prove my theory here. If I speed up time, It should be moving through it faster. It is. It is. It's just because we were on 5 times speed. But I feel like it should be moving at this speed even on 5 times speed. I mean, tornadoes aren't very slow. They move fast. But look at that, man. That is destroying his entire crop. I mean, he's basically just lost that entire field. We got to keep watching this for a minute. So maybe I lied to you about ending it. I want to see how far this actually goes before it stops. Well, I'm assuming it's, you know, it's 3 hours, right? 3 hours in game time, because that's pretty much what it said. So somewhere around there, and then it'll stop. But man, it's destroying these people's crops. I think it's a good and a bad thing that it doesn't destroy vehicles and everything else. I think it would be cool if it did do that. I get why they didn't do it. It might be a little bit too tough to come back from, right? Just the difficulty, but getting dark out. That tornado is still going strong, man. He's still going. It's getting ready to run into those bins. I do want to see if it hits. I don't think it's going to. It probably has a, you know, a marker where it says don't go into X buildings, right? But I'd be interested to see if it actually did hit them, if it did anything to them. It didn't do anything to the tractor, so my assumption is it won't do anything to them at all, but that poor guy, though, man, he lost his entire field, basically, except for a little tiny corner. Man, this is going for a long time. Okay, there it goes. It ended. Wow. That's crazy. All right, well, we're going to leave it there, gang. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, I'd appreciate if you hit the like button. Like I said, videos in the corners for you. See you in the next one.